Hey! Reviews!
Back up in here, yo!
Spoilers!
Spoilers! So if you don't want to know that, they put in Deadpool,
Ian, that's not how it goes. Spoiler review. So, so if you don't want to know how things transpire in the film yet,
yes.
Go watch our
Because, if you don't want to know Captain America's in the movie,
go watch our first video on this. Link somewhere here or down below. And check that one out first. But this one's for spoilers, so if you guys want to know the plot, how it ended, how everything transpired, more or less, this is the one you watch. We're going to summarize it because we're not going to give you the whole, almost an hour and a half, almost 2 hour movie. But we're going to give you the digestible summary version of how it happened, how it ended. So, jumping right to that, and then we'll kind of work our way through the rest of it. How this one ends, if you didn't guess...
Spider-Man!
No. Venom technically wins. Carnage is killed off, kind of, sort of. Venom basically ends up looking at Shriek like, oh, she makes ultrasonic sounds. We don't like that. I'll use her because, Carnage suit, for some reason, is super pissed that her sound keeps affecting him.
Yeah.
So the Carnage suit itself kind of knocks her back. Venom's like, oh, all right, well, I'll just push her off the thing. And as she's falling from this bell tower, she does her shriek. It radiates off the bell, hits Venom and Carnage. But the way that they get separated for the symbiote is Cletus Cassidy is way far away from his symbiote. Yeah. Lands pretty much is crippled, in a crippled state. The Carnage suit is just laying there. Venom reconnects to Eddie Brock in this super over elaborate fashion. He's falling, he lands on Dan, wraps around Dan's body, connects to his arm to Anne's body, goes through Anne's body, from there leaps from her arm to go on to Eddie Brock and reconnects him and saves him just before he lands, and he doesn't end up getting crippled, and he's fine. Yeah. So Venom stands up, eats the Carnage symbiote, as it's trying to fight its way away from him. He eats it, rejoins his body, technically becomes one again, which is weird. I don't even think that's a thing in the comics. I don't think the symbiotes can just consume the other one. I think they can assimilate them and take over, but I think the only ones I've ever seen do that, from memory, Carnage, I think he's done that before, but only towards the end of the run on there. I don't think I've ever seen another suit, or Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom is cured a symbiote, right? But I don't think any of the other ones have ever just completely taken over the other. So, new. Well, whatever. I could be wrong. Someone correct me in the comment sections if you want to. But anyways, that's how this one ends. And then Cletus Cassidy has his head bit off by Venom because he was like, F this guy. Just bites his head off.
He's a lethal protector.
Yeah, because he's a lethal protector.
If you don't catch that he say it at least 8 times.
Yeah.
He's a lethal protector because it's the name of the comic book series where he wants to be a hero. But whatever.
Lots of little Easter eggs like that they try to drop, kind of things that they reference. I don't know if they think that makes it better, that hey, we know about this. In my personal opinion, it pisses me off because they're like, yeah, we know about this reference material. We're not going to use it though. So it's okay, well then why bring it up?
Because they want to be different. Or they say, hey, look, we at least read it. We don't really care to put it in, but look, we read it.
Yeah, so I don't know the whole point behind that, but that's how this one ends.
And none of that really matters. The only thing that matters is mid-cutscene, you see Spider-Man. That's it.
Can you at least set it up?
You see Spider-Man. Finally.
You're not going to?
Finally. Okay. Basically, he's in bed and he's basically complaining they're at vacation because they're going to be around for people. They want to be the lethal protector now. And, and Venom's telling him all the stuff he knows from all those symbionts and everything else. You don't know half of what I know and blah, blah, blah. So when he proceeds to show him what he knows, something happens. A warp, Doctor Strange, Wanda, whatever happens, and they wake up basically in the MCU. when they basically see Spider-Man on TV, they're talking about how Spider-Man is a menace because in the last movie he just got unmasked
There
and
you
they
go.
come. They told him that he's a menace. So now he looks like he wants to basically stop the menace, which is Spider-Man.
So that's one way to look at it. The other thing I was thinking of was that either he recognizes him from his travels across the worlds, as he put it before, like 80 million or 80 billion, something like that.
The only thing with that is Spider-Man's only been in space once.
Yes. However, I'm not sure if the symbiote is referencing multiverses that he's experienced potentially. So I'm not sure if maybe that's what he was talking about, or to your point that he's just hoping to use Peter Parker as like, hey, look, we conquered this really menacing villain.
Yeah. We're the hero because they want to be a hero. That's the whole thing. He's like, I want to be a hero.
Yeah.
I want to be. It's the running theme for Venom.
Which, as we all know, Venom never started off as wanting to be a hero. He just literally wanted revenge. So it's kind of weird to see this develop in this sense. So, yeah.
And two, him being wanting to be a hero was also based off of revenge because he just wanted to be a better hero than Spider-Man.
Yep. Literally, almost every driving force behind Venom is based off of Spider-Man. But
and you made 2 movies without Spider-Man
in
the movie, which is the reason why
I like Dan better in this film.
Dan
he
did
does
a
burn
job
Carnage,
of like,
which is so weird. So they have him pouring gasoline, and he has like is it a lighter or a candle?
It's a burner, like the welder burner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he has that.
And he's doing this, and he's like
missing, and it's
fire,
he's
and like it's dropping gasoline onto Venom, but then like for some reason, I'm sorry, Carnage, and for some reason like towards the end of it, he's like, yeah, and he like drops the whole thing in gasoline and it just drops, and then somehow the fire stops. But I'm like, he just poured gasoline on you. Shouldn't you still have gasoline on you?
Nope, not in movie magic.
I just thought that was the weirdest thing. So I'm like, okay, so then did his symbiote separate the gasoline off of him so he wouldn't burn anymore? I didn't understand what was going on there. I was like,
and for part of it, he was actually just hitting the ground, so the ground behind him should be on fire. But you know,
like it was like dropping like on the side over here. So then it shows like some of his legs on fire, some of his back's on fire. I'm like, oh snap! Dan to the rescue! And nope, that's not what happened. Somehow the gasoline just like disappeared.
That's about right.
And then Dan was being chased by Carnage, who somehow didn't get insta-killed because he insta-killed everybody else and doesn't insta-kill this guy that set him on fire.
Yeah, he wants to grab and look at him. Where he literally, I guess, debating on eating him, where he's only technically in the movie, I think, only eating like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
Everyone else he just basically stabs.
Also, I don't know if this is true or not. I really don't remember this from the comics. That Venom lives off of a certain chemical from the brain, and he needs to eat brains
or chocolate. It's about the chocolate also.
Please, someone tell me that has never been a thing, because I really do not remember that ever.
No, because it's saying the symbiote lives off of it, and basically Parker didn't eat people when he had the symbiote.
Because I was pretty sure the whole reason why there's a symbiote and the reason why it's symbiotic is because they're living off of you. Mm-hmm. Therefore, they wouldn't need anything else but just to be attached to the host.
Yes.
So why try to make the symbiote more complex unnecessarily?
Because it's special.
Tom Hardy, I blame you, and this is the reason why I do not like you.
Well, they had to bring. I think they brought up in the first one.
They did.
They got to keep going with it on this.
They did, and that's why I'm saying it's his choice. Supposedly you're the one that had a whole bunch of writing, creativity, freedom, and I do not like it. Boo, hiss, and boo. Anything else you want to add?
So, Venom.
Eventually, it seems like.
So eventually, he's going to be in the MCU, which could be probably in the next Spider-Man movie, possibly. Maybe, possibly, it could happen.
Could happen.
I want it to happen because I finally want to see the good of Venom and Spider-Man situation.
We both hope and pray that it's good.
And he actually gets a Venom logo at some point,
Maybe.
But he'd have to actually be on Spider-Man, which still hasn't happened. Just saying.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yep. Also, I would like to point out, I didn't say this earlier, but realistically, this whole storyline is like, there's no point. Like, this happens, and then what?
It doesn't happen because he's not even in the universe anymore. So if he's not in the universe anymore, all this didn't actually matter.
That's what I'm saying. Like this, okay, the sequel, it might not even really matter at the end of the day that we just got done watching.
Yeah.
And the simple fact that they might end up rechanging the whole thing so they can finally fit in Spider-Man as part of his origin story. Cool, but why did you make us wait? Why didn't you just make that in the first place?
Because Sony was trying to talk with Marvel, and they finally decided to play nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of annoying. That's why I said it almost reminds me of like watching Dark Phoenix or something. It's like, well, what's the point of going to watch it if there's not really an end to it? You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's all I had. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it.
Cool. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.